The content of this video is only for adult, some scenes is not suitable for children under 13. Have you ever thought about what heaven and hell look like? What awaits us beyond our last breaths? Does afterlife exists? There is an ancient story from the Northern Song dynasty, about a man named Yue Lang who once experienced an unique dream about hell, although it is not officially recorded in any books, but its details imprinted in the minds of the ancient Chinese, as well as the modern. Today, I will tell you the story of Yue Lang, the journey to hell. It was already dragon hour, when the distant crowing of a rooster pierced the silence, waking Yue Lang. His body was covered with sweat, his heart racing, as he lay there in the early morning light. I am still alive, he pressed his palm against his chest, saying to himself, his voice is a mix of relief and surprise. He couldn't shake off the lingering effects of the dream that he just had. This is the strangest dream I ever had. He lay there for a moment, trying to anchor himself by scanning his familiar bedroom. Everything seems normal, except there is something changed inside of him. Do people trust me, if I tell them, hell is real? Would they believe me? Would they laugh at me? Or would they find meaning in my tale? No, if I don't tell anyone about it, my journey would lose its purpose. And I couldn't allow that to happen. Lang was determined at this moment. He knew what he needed to do. He needed to share his story. Perhaps there was a reason why he had been chosen, to experience such a strange vision. Welcome to Asian Wisdoms. Today I will act as the companion of Lang to tell you the rest of his unusual story to hell, the journey that few person has the chance to experience and return. Without any further delay, let's continue Lang's story. It all began last night. Lang climbed to bed at the pig hour as usual. After a hard-working day, he fell asleep. Until a strange voice awoke him. Hey, Lang, wake up. It is time to go. Lang opened his eyes. A creature with ox head and human body urged him. That is right. Yen Wang is waiting. Another creature raised its high voice. This one with horse face, also had human body. They are standing alongside his bed, pointing to the black portal. Yue Lang. Your lifespan is over. We've come to accompany you on a journey to underworld, said Oxhead. So, it's my turn to go meet my ancestor. Lang stood up and followed those two creatures. As he stepped into the portal, he turned back, and see that, his body is still laying on the bed, but not breathing. They captured my spirit. This is the end. Lang said to himself. Getting through the dark portal, Lang found himself standing in front of an entrance. There is a hanging sign written 18 levels of hell. He felt this place was beyond his wild imagination, everything was dark and scary. Guided by Oxhead and Horseface, Lang stepped into the first level of hell. Hell of tongue ripping. He knew that by reading the sign on the wall, there were words below. This place detains and tortures people who gossip and spread trouble with their words, humiliate others, especially lying. The punishment for these souls is to force them to open their mouths wide, then use pliers to pull out their tongues. Lang figured that the removal of the tongue takes place slowly, so that they feel the most extreme pain. It shocked him because when he was alive, no punishment looked that painful, even in prison. And this is just the first level of hell, there is still 17 more. Lang thought to himself. Then they walked into the second level of hell, hell of scissors. This is the place for those who used to instigate and entice widows to do wrong things, not to maintain full virtue. Little demons will chop off 10 fingers gradually. As a blink of eyes, he was taken to the third level of hell, hell of trees of knives. He saw demons throwing people on real trees of knives and hung there repeatedly. This punishment is for those who sow discord amongst family members, divide families, stir up relationships like father and son. The next level was quite silent. There is no scream, no yelling, only souls of people looking in some mirrors. That made Lang wonder what was happening. He tried to find the sign, Hell of Mirrors of Retribution. So, this is the place where sinners who manage to escape punishment, while alive, will go to. They will be repeatedly shown their sins in the grim mirror, then will be taken to other floors to pay for the mistakes they made. What sins will I see, when I looked at the grim mirror? I don't know what mistakes I made. So I suppose this fourth floor is for me. While Lang was thinking about that, Oxhead took him to another level. This fifth level is hot, and full of steam. Hell of Steamers. It is the place for hypocrites and troublemakers. In one corner, some people would be tied on a hot plate. In another one, many people were locked in a closed cage, then steamed non-stop. When cooked, demons will let cold wind blow through them, make them feel the ultimate pains from hot and cold. Lang heard people yelling as soon as he stepped into sixth level, Hell of Copper Pillars, where arsonists or who set fire to other people's houses, or kill people with fire, would go to. First they will be stripped of their clothes, then forced to hug a 1 meter wide and 2 meter long copper pillar which were heated red hot, causing great pain to the sinner. A chill wind blew into Lang back as he saw the seventh level. This level room was way bigger than others. Because there was a mountain of knives. And demons were making people climbing on that. He heard people screaming, yelling as they climb up the knives mountain. Hell of the Mountain of Knives is the name of this level. For those who have killed animals for pleasure and disrespect gods. This is also a lesson to remind people not to underestimate the gods. In particular, all animals have spirituality, so killing should also be avoided at all cost. Reading that, Lang's face seemed relaxed. This is not the hell level for him, because when alive, he just got two hobbies. The first one was setting free of animals which were going to be butchered by buying them from the hunters. The second one was carving statues of gods and Buddhas. At that moment, he felt lucky and proud of himself, cause he did not commit any sins of this level. Oxhead and Horseface led Lang into another giant room. Freezing was the first impression he got. He saw many nude people lying on the cold ground, some rubbing their hands to get some warmth. Hell of the Mountain of Ice, written the sign. This hell level was for adulterers, deceivers, schemers, or those who intentionally aborting an abortion. Leaving the icy cold hell level, instantly Lang felt hot air coming towards him from a giant cauldron. He saw many people were tossed in the boiling oil pot screaming. This was the ninth hell level, Hell of the Cauldrons of Oil, where rapists, thieves, abusers, and false accusers would be repeatedly fried in the pot of boiling oil. The more serious the crime, the longer the punishment would be. A few people just few moments ago freezing in the Mountain of Ice hell, were now burnt in boiling oil. As Lang moved into the next level, he heard loud noises. Is that bull sounds? He thought to himself. And what he saw immediately confirmed his doubt. Hundreds of bulls were running and trampling people, some even used horns too, but people bleeding everywhere. This level must be for ones who tortured animals when they were alive. Lang started to see the logics of the sins and their punishments. And he was right. The name of the level was Hell of the Cattle Pit, where those who have abused animals, killed these creatures for entertainment will suffer the pain of the animals. Oxhead and Horseface took him to another level again. But this time, it looks like a giant lake. The sign wrote, Hell of the Crushing Boulder, the place for those who have abandoned or killed children by whatever reasons will repeatedly be taken to the lake, stand on rock pillars and made to hold up heavy boulders with knives, eventually being crushed by its weight. I know somebody in my village who abandoned her newborn children because the kids were sick or handicapped. Some stories were even more heartbreaking. They left baby girls because they only wanted to raise boys. Smashing noises brought him back to the journey. Those demons were using mortars and pestles, smashing people who often throw away food, leave leftovers or trample food. Also on this level, some demons were trampling those who used to rude, swear, curse others while eating. The more serious the crime, the longer the pounding time. If I must go to hell, this level would be the place I must spend most of the time to clear sins. Wasting food is considered the most common sins people made. Leaving hell of mortars and pestles, Lang walked into hell of the blood pool, the 13th hell level, where those who disrespect with parents, petty and dishonest will be thrown in a pool of foul blood and suffer extreme hunger. Since knowing how sins are connected with punishments, Lang had a question for himself: which is the hell level for those who commit suicide? And the next hell would give him the answer: hell of the wrongful dead. Lang read the sign, the only thing that he could see among mists. This hell level was so silent and dark. Lang could hear the footsteps of Oxhead and Horseface in front of him. After hearing so much noise, screams, this sudden silence made him scared. Oxhead, for the first time since they went to hell, started talking. This is where those who had committed suicide by hanging themselves, drinking poison or get drought aimly. Those actions are considered going against the karmic rule of the universe. The sinner will be imprisoned forever, never get the another chance to be reincarnated. The group silently moved to the 15th hell level, hell of dismemberment, where tomb raiders will have their bodies repeatedly be torn into pieces. The sound of people butchered by demons did not bother Lang. He still thought about hell of the wrongful dead, imprisoned forever, never reincarnated. Is it too much to punish one who commits suicide? I know people who was so poor and desperate that they would end their life, hoping to have a happier afterlife. But this, I wish I had the chance to tell them, so they would not be trapped in this hell forever. The hot air blew into Lang's face. He just stepped in the 16th hell level, hell of the mountain of fire. The punishment place for thieves, robbers, the corrupt officials as well as monks who broke the rule. All of them will be repeatedly thrown into the fiery pits of an active volcano, burned by the hot lava. Lang easily saw that this hell lever was the most crowded until now. Greed sins dominates most people and few escaped it. The 7th hell level was the hell of mills. Most of sinners here were officials who broke the laws, waste government grains, misused their power to oppress the weaks. They would be punished by grinding their bodies into the paste, then restoring their human form to continue grinding. Monks who ate meats were also punished here. The 18th hell level, also the last one, was called Hell of Saws, for cheaters from small crimes, like unfair business to bigger one. Like exploited loopholes in the legal system. Demons will tear their clothes, put them on the board in X shape and used saw blade to cut their body vertically. Walking to the end of this level, there is a big red door. Oxhead and Horseface said to Lang, "It's time to meet Yen Wang." That is the end of The Journey to Hell, Part 1. What is behind the red door? Who is Yen Wang? And what will he say to Lang, our main character? How could Lang go back to his own place and tell everybody this unusual tale? All the details will be revealed in the Part 2. Make sure you will keep following. I also have one more question to ask you. Imagine that you were a Chinese soul at that time. Which hell levels you think you would have to visit? Which hell levels impress you the most? Let me know in the comment what you think about this video. I would love to hear about that. Remember to like and subscribe. Share this if you want your friends to see a real Asian hell. Again, I am John. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.